Hey guys, this is Seamus Johnson of My Lawnmower Repair Guy, coming back to you again with another video. Today we have a John Deere Gator. This is a 2x4 right here. It's not a four-wheel drive model. It's in here for a basic service, a basic tune-up, change the oil, change the filters, the air filter, the spark plug, do a little cleanup on it, make sure it's running real good. This is the 2x4, not the four-wheel drive model. We're going to change the fluid inside the transmission or the transaxle. Got all our oil filters here, our spark plug, the engine oil for the engine. Also, too, the oil filter for this thing is way down here in between the transmission and the engine right here. What we're going to do is going to crank it up for a little bit. Anytime you're doing a service on any type of machine, whether it's a car, or truck, or a lawnmower or anything like that right there, you always want to crank it up and run it. The reason why is because that oil is real thick when it's sitting there cold. It's going to take forever to drain. Plus, you're not going to get all of it out of there when it's cold. So what you want to do is crank it up, let it run for probably about a good 5 or 6 minutes. Let that oil get real thin. Let it heat up and get all the oil from the top and let it drain out through the bottom of the engine. So what we're going to do, we're going to fire it up, crank it up, and let it run for probably about a good 5 or 6 minutes. You always too make sure it's in neutral, and make sure your parking brake is on when you're doing this service. You don't want to take off on you. It will help too, give a little bit of gas. I'm gonna let it sit here and run for a little bit, then I'm gonna come back. All right, guys, it's been running for probably about a good 5 or 6 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it on down and start changing the oil and changing the filter on this thing right here. The oil filter is in like a little very tight area on this thing. Sometimes you gotta get grip pliers, a pair of channel locks to get down inside there. But it's like I say, it's in between the engine and the transmission. If you look down here, way to the bottom down here, that's your oil filter right there. You ain't got hardly any room to get up inside there. That little round black thing right there, that's your oil filter. That's how you're gonna get it up out of there. So if you got a pair of channel lock pliers, I'm gonna grab mine, see if we can get down inside there and loosen this thing here up. All right, guys, got my channel locks. Let's see if I can get down inside here and loosen this thing here up. If I can see it here. In a real tough area. Got it. All right, I got it loose. Let me see if I can grab it with my hands and try and twist it on off. Yeah. That right there is easy compared to a lot of the other ones that I see. A lot of the other ones are hard to get off. So we got lucky. Got it. This is the oil filter right here. This is the part number for it. It's going to be an AM 107 423. All right, guys, I got the oil filter off, letting it drain. The next thing we're going to do is get a 3/4 inch wrench. We're going to take the oil plug out from the bottom. All right, guys, right inside this little hole right here, that's in front of the oil filter, right up inside there, it's a 3/4. If you look, feel it, you'll feel that right up in there. See if I can turn it with my hand. All right, turn it with my hand now. Get my oil pan in place. There it is, coming out just like that. This is the plug right here. I'll show it to you. This is the plug. That's the oil plug. That's what it looks like. Little plastic oil plug. That's what holds your oil in. And let it all drain out. Alright guys, well I got the oil draining. What I'm going to do, I'm going to prep this oil filter. I was going to take the oil filter, and you always want to put oil in it. So open your oil, fill it up. And take a little bit and just rub around the gasket so it goes on there nice and smooth, nice and tight. Alright, I'm going to reach back down there and put this new oil filter on. If I can feel it pretty good. Got it. You do not want to get a pair of grip pliers and try and, tighten it. Do not tighten it down that tight. Tighten it hand tight. After it gets tight, see if you can turn it by another half a turn or whatever, and you should be good. Also, guys, what you can do if you need to get more room from this dump trailer right here, this over here is an actuator. This right has the electric dump right here. What you can do if you need more room, right down, I pulled the pin out of it. I'm gonna put the pin back in there now. Take it, push the pin back, and lock it back down inside there. You can pull that out, push it back another 8 inches to get in between that motor and that transmission if you need more room. This mud flap that's on there gets in the way. Alright, I got my air filter here. This is your air cleaner box right here. This is your air filter box. Pop off your retainers, pull them back, and pull your air filter out. Pop it on out, throw it to the side, and put your new air filter in there. Just like that. Twist it in a little bit. Make sure it's twisted in pretty good. Just put your cover back on. Pretty easy. Snap your air filter in and out. This one to the top. This one off to the bottom. There it is. It's snapped in there. I've already changed that spark plug. I changed the spark plug before I crunk it up. I didn't want to heat that thing up. I had to try and play hot potato with it, trying to get it out once it was heated up. So I already changed the spark plug. Your spark plug is right here. This is your spark plug, the little rubber boot. All you do is take this wire right here and you twist it off. It pops right on up out of there. That's going to be a 13/16 socket to get that spark plug out of there. I've already changed it. I noticed something was different. One that was in there was a BPR 2ES. This is a BPR 5ES. I'm not sure what the difference is in that or what the deal is with that, but that's the one the customer gave me to put in there, so I'm putting it in there for him. Alright guys, I'm back on the driver's side of this thing. This little stick right here, this is your oil dip stick right here. This is where you put your oil in at. This is where you check your oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the oil in. I'm not for sure how much goes in there. I'm gonna put in a quart, maybe a quart and a quarter, and I'm gonna check it. Alright guys, I'm gonna start putting my oil in there now. Alright guys, I've already poured in a quart already. I'm finna go for a quart and probably a quarter. Then I'm gonna check it. All right, guys, I poured roughly right at about 1.5 quarts in there. We're going to check it real quick again. It's 1.5 quarts. It's right at it. 1.5 quarts. Right at the mark right there. It's right at it. So it takes about 1.5 quarts of oil. So what we're going to do next, we're going to put our dipstick back in there. The oil's done. Now we're going to change the fluid in the differential. I'm going to show you how that goes. On the bottom down here, on the very, very bottom, see that little hump right there? It's a little hump. Right on the side of it, there's a bolt on the side of that little hole, almost something similar to how we change the oil. That's where your differential fluid is at, right up inside here. There's a bolt right there inside of there. We're going to drain that. Let it all run out. Right there where the tool's hanging out. That's going to be a 9/16. Actually, that's going to be a 1/2 inch. Let's get our pin here. It's just going to run out pretty quick. Just like the oil's running out. And also too, what you want to do is come up to the top here and open up the oil inlet right up here. This is your oil inlet right here. You put your check your oil and put your oil in that. Open this right here up. It'll pour out even quicker and faster. Let it sit there and drain for a little bit. Alright guys, while the oil is draining, what we're going to do, if you look on the transaxle right down there, on the axle itself, you got some little grease fittings, one here, and you got another one over here on this side over here. You want to put some grease inside that. That's part of your service, that's part of your tune-up. It's a little collar that basically connects your axle to your transmission. So you want to keep that greased up in case you got to pull that thing apart for whatever reason. So we're going to go ahead and grease that too while we at it. Also too, on the front here, on the front of your steering arms right there, your front of your cross member, your axle, it's a grease fitting right here. And there's another one on this side over here, right here. You want to squirt a little bit of grease in it. You don't want to have it oozing out. Oozing out is bad. So what happens is that when you're turning, when you're riding, it's going to be collecting sand over time, and when you turn, it's going to pull all that sand into it. So you don't just put it like maybe 2 or 3 pumps in it and be done with it. All right, guys, got my grease gun, and stick it on there. Put a few pumps in it. That's all we need right there. Starting to ooze out to the top, so that's already full. Wiped all the excess grease off. We can do the other side the same way. Alright, let's see, be on the driver's side now. Stick it on there, pump it a couple times. We see it oozing out back here, we know it's full. Want to wipe all that excess off. You don't want it slipping out like that. Now we're at the back side. Do the same thing here. Stick it on there. A couple pumps, that's all you need. Other side the same way. Gotta push it up a little bit. Alright, the other side. Put a few pumps in it. Just like that. That's all you need right there. Well, it looks like all of our transmission fluid is all drained out. So we're gonna put the cap back on it and we're gonna start putting our fluid back in it. All right, we're finna raise the bed back up so we can fill the transaxle up. The customer said that it takes 5 quarts of it. So I'm not for sure how much it takes, but that's what I'm going off by what the customer said. They say it takes 5 quarts of fluid, so we're gonna see what happens and go from there. All right, guys, I'm finna start putting the fluid inside the transmission here. This is the whole gallon of it right here. I'm gonna pour right at 90% of that in there and I'm gonna check it and see what happens. All right, I poured 90% of that in there. You haven't even touched the tip of the dipstick yet. So I'm gonna pour the rest of it inside there, and there's another quart. That's the rest of it. I'll pull this thing out. I'm gonna check it again here real quick. Nope, still ain't registered yet. So I'm gonna pour this last quart in there and see what happens. That right there is about 75% of that quart. I don't want to overfill it. Still no register. So, luckily, I got some. I always keep some on hand because I do a lot of John Deere stuff. This is what the customer bought here, and this is the one that I had on my shelf. So we're gonna just keep filling it up and see what happens. So what I done, I took the customer's old quart right here, and I dumped mine, some of my fluid inside here because I want to measure and see how much this stuff, how much it really takes. I'm gonna go ahead and pour about a half a quart in there and see if it registers. So I don't want to overfill it. That's about a half a quart there. It barely registers on there. So I'm going to pour about another quarter of that in there. That should be enough. Actually, it's a little bit over, so I'm going to have to let some of it out. That ain't going to work. Well, guys, I finally got it. Transmission oil changed. It takes, if you're going to do it, 1 whole gallon, like this right here, 1 quart, and then a half of another quart. That's what it takes to do the rear end. This is the 2x4. Not the 4-wheel drive, just a 2x4. That's how we're going to do that. And the last thing we're going to do is change the fuel filter, and I'm going to be done. And let's find the fuel filter. Well, guys, as you can see, the fuel filter is up under this cover right here. This is the driver's seat. This plastic cover right here has to come up. I'm not going to take this thing off just to put a fuel filter on, but it's way up under here. The fuel filter is right over here, right there. You can lift it up with your hand and get a pair of pliers, pop it off, and stick it on there. But that's how you service this thing right here. I know it's a long video. Trying to film it and do the work at the same time and hold the camera is kind of hard, but that's how you, hopefully you guys got something out of it. Hopefully you guys learned something from my videos. If you like my videos, please like my videos, please share my videos, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.